Namaste, everyone. Welcome to class. Starting off our week on a Tuesday. So nice tall spine, finding a place where we can begin our pranayama and meditation first. So if you know for your meditation you want an extra cushion or you want a shawl or something, just go and grab it. And we'll do our little pranayama and then a short meditation, and then we'll go into our asana. So we've gotten the most important part done. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present, a special prayer of thanksgiving for Baba Hari Das. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga, Ayurveda, and with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. It changes and it changes and it morphs. What do you need today for self-transformation? Let that thought blossom in your mind. And then let it drop down into your heart space, and we'll bring it back at the end of class. Join me if you can where you are in one resounding Om. Exhaling the breath out and inhaling the chant. Om. And then just letting the breath fill you wherever it may. I do want to make one announcement today before we even get started. Friday is Guru Purnima, which means the day of the full day of the guru, of the teacher within, and all of the teachers that you've had in your lifetime. So it's a day to respect the teachers and respect the teacher in yourself as well. So I invite you to join us. It's a beautiful celebration at the Sankat Mochan Hanuman Temple at Mount Madonna. You can go to Mount Madonna Center, or you can go to the Hanuman Temple, either place, and find an invitation to come and celebrate online for the Guru Purnima there this Friday. I want to make sure that you know that. And also to remind you that I've got Tuesdays and Thursdays, but Jen also has Wednesdays. So just to firm our seat for pranayama, just a few circles, making sure your seat is comfortable. And then nice tall spine, uplifted spine. Let's get in touch initially with our 3 breaths. So exhaling the breath out as you draw the belly button back to the spine, use your abs, and then release the belly and let the breath come in. 3 or 4 abdominal breaths. And this next time you bring your belly to your spine, leave it there and let's breathe into the chest. Spread the ribs side to side and then let them deflate. This is called bucket handle breathing. You're just breathing in side to side. I'm just using my hands to show you what your rib cage is doing. Okay, just coming into the ribs, spreading the ribs side to side, and then exhale, recoil. Good. Then let's try to combine, fall into your natural breath pattern for a moment or two. We're going to combine those 2 breaths into what we call the yogic breath. We're going to exhale the breath out, belly to spine. We're going to release the belly, let the breath start there so that the diaphragm drops, and then spread the ribs as you fill the rest of the inhale into the body. And then exhale out slowly, gently, smoothly. Okay? So let's start together. Exhale the breath all the way out, belly to spine. Release your belly muscles, let the breath come in. And now draw that same inhale up into the chest. You'll feel it move into the chest and feel the back body, back body, back body. And as the chest expands, the belly hollows out on its own. Pause at the top and then exhale out slowly. Just feel the ribs recoil. Belly doesn't really move. Belly stays stable where it is. The ribs are just recoiling. You got everything out of your belly. And at the very end of that exhale, a little tug, belly to spine, then release the belly again, let the breath start there, and then spread it all the way out into the side ribs, back ribs, front ribs, side ribs, back ribs, front ribs, filling out the whole of your chest cavity. At the top, a slight pause, and then exhale the breath out slowly, smoothly, gently. Keep your belly where it is. Let the breath recoil. At the bottom of the breath, a little tug, belly to spine, and let's do 3 more. Inhale, belly. Draw that same inhale into the chest. The belly recedes on its own. Don't forget the back body. Draw the breath into the back. Draw it to the front. Draw it to the back. Draw it to the side. Slight pause at the top, and then exhale out slowly, smoothly, gently. Keep the belly engaged. At the very bottom of that exhale, pull the belly to the spine, and then release it to start again. I'll be quiet for 2 breaths. And then falling into your natural breath pattern at the end. Just noticing the effects of the practice on your body, on your breath, and on your mind. So we're going to move into the pause for a moment, and I do want you to use the full yogic breath. You'll exhale the breath out to begin. We'll inhale, wherever that inhale goes for you. Pause for 3 or 4 seconds. Exhale, nice big full exhale, and then pause for 3 or 4 seconds. So regulating, not necessarily the same amount for inhale and exhale, but focusing on the pause, a 3 or 4 second pause. Ready? Full yogic breath. Let's begin. Exhale, belly to spine. Release the belly, breath comes in. Draw it into the chest, and when you get to the top of your full inhale, just pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Slowly let the lungs recoil as the breath moves out of the body. And when you get to the bottom of the exhale, focus on the pause, 2, 3, 4. 3 more breaths, just like that. Completing the round that you're on, and then pausing and noticing the breath. Not pausing the breath, just pausing your mind. Just noticing the quality of the breath. We're going to move right into our meditation this morning. We're going to go back to the 5 elements. It's a rather busy meditation, so you're welcome to just zone out onto your own mantra or yantra or anything you have that you normally do for your meditation. Otherwise, you're going to listen and I'm going to give you the mudra and the bija mantra. So you'll just repeat it over to yourself, just repeating the mantra just for 1 minute. We're going to spend 1 minute on each element. You can let your mind drift to the qualities of the element, or you can try to just stay with the bija mantra, repeating it silently to yourself over and over again. Earth element, Prithvi. Tip of the thumb to the tip of the ring finger, tip of the thumb to the tip of the ring finger. Seed syllable, lung, 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 lung. Release the mudra and the mantra. Water element, up. Tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky finger. Tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky finger. Seed syllable, vang, 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 vang. Releasing the mantra and the mudra, moving into the fire element, folding in the ring finger and placing the thumb across the nail to the first knuckle. Ring finger folded in and the thumb placed across the nail and the first knuckle. Seed syllable, rung, 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 rung. Releasing the mudra and the mantra. Air element, Vayu. Taking the tip of the index finger into the base of the thumb, tip of the index finger into the base of the thumb, and then fold the thumb across the index finger lightly. Seed syllable, young, 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 young. Releasing the mantra and the mudra, moving into space, Akash, the ether element. The tip of the thumb to the tip of the middle finger, tip of the thumb to the tip of the middle finger. Seed syllable, hung, 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 hung. Release the mudra and the mantra, letting the back of your hands rest on your legs in an open form, bringing your mind into the seed syllable, Om. All elements, all bija mantras contained within the syllable Om, 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 Om. Releasing the mantra completely and folding your hands with the palms to your legs, self-contained for just a moment, bringing your awareness fully to your body, all 5 elements within. Bring your awareness to your room, to your house, to your home, to your garden, to the streets around you, all 5 elements outside of you. And then slowly and gently releasing the meditation completely. Just bringing yourself fully back into your space. Good. So good morning again. Hopefully that was very focusing for you. So let's just think for a moment about the 5 elements in our bodies for just a moment. Think of the rooting down of earth element. That's all of the structure. So our bones, our tendons, our ligaments, the cartilage, the organs themselves, all of the things that form the body. Think of water, the liquidity principle. So our blood, the blood in our veins, the lymph fluid, the interstitial fluids, our tears, our saliva, our urine, all of the liquid in the body. Go ahead and start making circles with me while I chat. The fire in the body, so your metabolic fire, think of the mitochondria at a cellular level. Think of your digestive fire. Think of the fire on your skin, the fire in your eyes. Think of all of the fire element in your body. And then air. So anything that moves, all of this movement that we're doing right now, it's by the air element. Nothing moves without air. There are no waves on the ocean. There's no breeze in the trees. Air element in our body, pushing our digestive tract down all the way. Whatever goes in our mouth comes out of our anus. That's because of air. And then bringing yourself into space. So the space in each cell, the space in the orifices of the body. Bring yourself just really aware how we are just a microcosm of the macrocosm. There's nothing in us that isn't in our universe and nothing in our universe that isn't in us composite wise. So bring your legs out in front of you. Good, I'll turn to the side and just lift almost to straighten, not first thing, your hamstrings were just bent. So lift almost to straighten, go ahead and point your toes. And just think about what quality reigns in you this morning. Is it fire? Is it air? Are you feeling spacey? Are you sluggish? Is it earth and water? Think mud, right? And now let's flex the foot and don't let it touch the floor. Just keep it up, just like a little bit up. Foot is flexed. Good. And then release it. The other foot, flex the foot. So it's just swinging now, just back and forth, nothing else. Good. And then both legs, keep them flexed. So they're just swinging and you're balancing on your sit bones. You don't have to straighten them. Good. And then soles of the feet together as we let our legs externally rotate. And I have some blocks here and I'm going to use them for a moment. So depending upon where you are this morning, support your legs. Don't take them out to the furthest. Like mine could go here. Nope, I'm going to bring them in and support those adductors a little bit. Okay. And while our adductors are feeling supported, let's work with our toes a little. That will work with our ankles. Our toes are made up of so many tendons and ligaments that there's really not much there except fat pads and tendons and ligaments. So press the balls of the feet together and take your toes apart. Balls of the feet together and toes apart. Reach the toes apart. Good. That's really engaging. Look at your arches. Just notice the arches. And right now, your inner legs are also relaxing because you have the blocks there while we're working our feet and our ankles and the shins, because the shins are the muscles that the tibialis and everything go across our ankles, and it's their tendons that are making our toes curl. Okay. And then take the little toe together, the third toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe, and then press the toes into each other. Good. Keep the heels together. Kind of the heels want to go apart when you do that often. And then peel the toes apart again. Good. And then just take out your right block and down and all the way back, wherever it wants to go. So internal and external rotation. And one more time. And then prop it back up, further up than it necessarily can go. And then take the other block out of the way. And then just hold onto your shin. Internal rotation, external rotation. Good. And then plop it back up. And then let's work a little bit with our shoulders and our arms where we're just letting our adductors relax. Okay, so you can just hold onto your shins, stay seated up onto your sit bones, move your shoulder blades down for a moment. So shoulder blades are moving down, lots of space between your ears and your shoulders. And I want to simply, you can just follow me, just simply tilt your head over, ear toward the left shoulder. Ear toward the left shoulder. Don't tuck your chin in. Don't look up. Looking right ahead. Good. And then take your left hand for a moment and then press your head back up. So you're not just gripping into that muscle you just used. Okay. And then just tilt. So your head's not going down, face isn't going down. Just the right ear toward the right shoulder. Just a little bit of a tilt. And then use your right hand and push it back up. Push it all the way back up. Good. And then pull your chin back, tuck your chin in, tuck, 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 tuck. Once you've tucked your chin in, lengthen the back of your neck and take your chin toward your jugular notch, toward that little indentation. Look at the floor. And then whichever hand you'd like, put your hand on your forehead and push your head back up. Good. And then the other direction, we're not going to hold for a moment. We're just going to look up and back. And don't let your head look up any further than it feels comfortable to get it back into neutral. So no straining here. Good. And now keeping your face and head upright, you're going to take your chin over your left shoulder, chin over the left shoulder, and bring it back. And chin over your left shoulder. You can coordinate breath with your movement. You can exhale or inhale. You have more power if you exhale to move. And this is just our neck, so it's not a full anything. We're not taking it into our thoracic. Now to the right side. Just the chin stays parallel to the floor. Testing your atlas axis rotation, those two little bones at the top of the spine that help you rotate your head. Good, okay, great. And then let's take our legs and just spread them out in a moment, just right out in front. Good, just sitting up nice and tall. Great. Flex your feet, keep your heels on the floor, but feet are flexed and your heels are apart, your big toe knuckles are touching. Good. And then go ahead and draw up, let's draw up your right leg, draw up the right leg. So you're pushing into your ascending colon. Flex your left foot along the floor. So draw up your right leg, flex your left foot across the floor. And then up on your sit bone. So really pull your spine on to the inside of your right leg. Just pull your spine in. Good. Go ahead and take your right arm up and then place it behind you to make a flying buttress. You notice we haven't twisted yet. Okay. And then put your hand right on your knee. And you're going to use the opening of your right shoulder and the bending of your right elbow. And you can even bend back a little to open and help you to twist thoracically. So you can roll the left shoulder, right shoulder open and roll it back. Roll the shoulder open, look to the right and roll it back. One more time, roll it open and come back. This time we're going to stay. So roll it open, gaze out to the right side, flex your left foot, keep holding onto the knee. Don't pull it any way. Just hold it and sitting up on your sit bones. Make sure you're up, up. Matsyendrasana, Lord of the Fishes pose. Foot is flexed across the floor. Good. And then take your left arm up toward the ceiling. Reach up from your sit bones. Really feel yourself reach up. And then bring the left elbow to the inside of your right leg. And just a little bit of traction to help you sit up a little taller. You don't have to push, just a little bit of resistance. Good. And then exhale and release the pose completely back to the center. Good. Okay. And extend out the right leg. Just be still for a moment. We're going to go into the descending colon. So now left leg comes up, right leg stays flexed, sitting up nice and tall. Good. Both sides are different, so don't judge how close one leg could come in and the other. If you bring the leg in too close and it rolls you back onto your sacrum, then come back up and take your leg a little further apart. You need to be up on your sit bones. Good. And then rising up with the left arm. My left knee wants to travel out, so I'm just holding it in firmly. Good. And really flexing the right foot along the floor. And then this arm moves back. It's our flying buttress. Hold on back behind you. You haven't twisted yet. Good. And then inhale, twist. Keep your head over your sternum. Exhale, return. Inhale, twist. Exhale, return. Inhale, twist, roll the shoulder, bend the elbow. Exhale, return, roll it back. One more. And then this time we're going to stay all the way open. Good. Breathe. Press into the floor behind you. Keep looking to the left side. Don't let your left knee travel. And then just rise up with the right arm. Bend the elbow, put it to the inside of your left leg, inside, out, inside, outside. So towards you, but out to the side. Keep the right foot flexed. Breathe up on your sit bones. Good. And then just release the arm and exhale back to neutral. Good. Extend both legs out. And then let's cross over and come into table. Okay. Nice, stable table. As stable as you can get it this morning. Bring your belly in. Pelvic floor is active. Hands are on the front side. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And you could go down onto your elbows at any point in time. So your elbows are headed back, not out to the side. Keep pulling in your belly. Good. And then just extend back for a moment through the left foot. Through the left foot. Lift the left leg a little. Just look back behind you and make sure your toes, especially your little toe, is headed to the floor. So there's no rotation. And then slowly, we're going to try to go down to our forearms and up. Just make it slow, down to our forearms, elbows right behind your wrist, not out to the side. And up. Good. And then release the left leg. Good. And right leg back. Flex the foot. Raise it up a little, not too much, because you want to keep no rotation there. You just want the foot in your Tadasana pose. Okay. Pull in your belly. Pelvic floor is engaged. And just bending the elbows right behind your wrist. Press into the big the index finger knuckle, press into the, I was going to say big finger, the knuckle of your index finger. Good. And then when you come up, release the leg. Great. And take your hips back towards your heels for a moment. Just reaching, armpits are lifted. Good. And then we're going to slither down onto our forearms. Reach your hands and fingers forward. Make really big fingers. Good. And then we're going to take cat pose right here. We're going to inhale or exhale. Draw the ears in between the shoulders. And then in the other, look forward and curl the head to the tail and tail to the head. So following a breath pattern that agrees with you. This kneeling. Two more. And then finding your neutral spine. Good. And then putting the base of your hands where your elbows were. So you should be back into your table with the same stability, wrist underneath your shoulders. Good. And belly is really pulled in. So reach back with your left leg. Reach back with your left leg. And then slowly you're going to rotate out your right shin to come over with the right shin headed back behind you, and you come onto the inside of your left foot. So a modified side plank pose. You can even lift your leg a little and get a modified, very modified Ardha Chandrasana, but a lot of the same qualities, or lower it. Good. And then cartwheel the arm back over, unpivot the right leg, and then release the left leg. Okay. And now right leg back. We're going to pivot out the knee to the shin to the ankle and roll onto the inside of the right leg. side plank, modified side plank, or you can lift your foot in a very modified Ardha Chandrasana. Cartwheel the arm back over, bring your shin back in, and then place the other leg. Good, so the legs are fine, they're together. Great, pull in your belly, pull in your pelvic floor. Everything is lifted. Great, and then take your hips back towards your heels for just a moment and walk yourself to seated. A nice tall pose. Good, just looking forward for a moment. Try to take all 10 toenails firmly into the floor, and you're just seated, your hips to your sit bones to your heels. If that's not comfortable, just slip in a block, a blanket, or a pillow between your heels and your sit bones. Staying tall. Good, and then just coming up for a moment, right to kneeling, just to kneeling. I'm going to do this from the side, okay? I'm just going to lift my leg and reach back. I'm trying not to move any other part of my body. I'm trying to not arch forward or do anything. Just lift the leg. If I can get a little bit of the leg, just pull it wherever it's comfortable. You may need something underneath your knees. Good, and then the other leg. And release it one more time. Just lift it. And release it. In Babaji's notebook, he has a pose, and I can only do it with the wall in front of me. There is a pose where you actually are here and have both legs and are balancing on your knees. And I can do it as long as I have my chest somewhat on the wall. But the pose has a lot of benefits to the Apana Vayu, reaching down, having us realize where the truncation is of our body. So if you have a wall or something that you can actually lean against a little, you can do both legs. This will remind you of boat pose, but often in boat pose, we're adding a big back bend, and here we're not. There's no back bend, you're in a Tadasana spine, and you have just lifted the lower leg. And then you can release. Take your hips back to your heels. Just sitting tall for a moment, facing ahead. Good. And then coming back into seated, just coming back into seated for a moment. Let's make some circles, big circles. Good. And then I want you just to lean over to your left side, just lean to the left, stretch out your legs on the bottom, and just finding yourself a nice place to be aligned. You can come all the way down and just hold your head. Good. And then lift the upper leg until you find a long extension, as if you were sitting in Tadasana. So about your hip distance apart for your ankles. Good. Great. And then we're just going to lift a little, keep it flexed, and lower just a little, not all the way to touch. Lift and lower. So you're really working with the TFL. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. You can place your hand on the muscle if you can feel them engaged. Lift and lower. Our abductors. Lift and hold the lift for just a moment. Breathe. And then I want you to add, so just release your hand if you had it there. Add external rotation and just reach up. So now your upper leg is externally rotated. The toes are towards you. And then bring it back until you can now get rid of the external rotation. And it's just an abduction. Good. And then just bend the leg and put the foot on the floor. Just bend the leg and put the foot on the floor. Good. And then leg out one more time. One last time. One other exercise. So point the toe and draw the leg forward. Sweep it back as far as is comfortable. Flex the foot. Kick, kick, kick. Point the toe. Draw the leg back. Flex the foot. Kick, kick, kick. Keep it off the ground. Point the toe. Draw the leg back. Flex the foot. Kick, kick, kick. Good. Just stay in that kick for a moment. And then again, bend the leg and just put the foot on the floor. Great. And then we're going to roll over and do the other side. I'm going to switch orientations. Okay. Good. So your upper leg is up, not your leg, and you have at least a fist or two or three. I think I have 3 fists between my legs right now. This is the arthritic hip. Good. All righty. So we're just going up, no rotation, and down. Just really engaging the adductors, the abductors, sorry, the ones who steal away from each other in abduction. And especially the tensor fascia lata, which is laying up under your iliotibial band. Two more. And this time stay there. Keep the foot flexed. And then you're going to exhale and then draw it up overhead. Wherever it comes to is perfect. Just hold it there. And then start to draw it down until you can get rid of the rotation, toes to the front again, and hold it there. Press through the flex heel. And then just bend the knee and rest the foot on the floor. Great. And then let's take it back again. Good. So the foot is flexed. Let's point the toe and then draw the leg back. Self-drawing the leg back. Kick, kick. Point the toe and scoop the leg back. Resist. Kick, kick, kick. Point the toe. Draw the leg. Kick, kick, kick. Point. Scoop it back. Kick, kick. Last time. Draw it back. Kick, kick, kick. And then just bend the knee and rest the foot on the floor. Good. And since we're here, let's just roll over onto our belly in Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath your shoulders. And if that's uncomfortable in your low back, just reach your elbows out a little bit further. Your arms may be shorter than your low back likes. Good. Wherever it's best for you. Tops of the feet on the floor engaged. Quadriceps engaged. That's the front of your thighs. Big toe knuckles can touch, but not the heels. Little toenails are definitely in the floor and your belly is lifted. Don't just droop your belly into the floor. Lift your belly. Good. And then curl the toes under. Take an inhale. Exhale. Belly up. And inhale, lower. Exhale up. And inhale, lower. 2 more. Good. And then just building on what we did at the wall, just draw in one heel and let it go. And draw in the other heel and let it go. Keep your belly engaged. Draw in both heels. Good. So we're not really doing boat, we're just working with the legs. Belly is engaged, low back is super stable. Wing your elbows out to the side and slowly begin to lay the ribs down one at a time until you get to chin, chest, and chin or forehead. Sweep the arms back behind you. Your knees are still bent. But relax your feet and your legs completely. Just relax. Just stay where you are and relax. You might feel a little flexion at the hips. You might have realized as soon as you relaxed, your hip flexors just did something and took your upper hip off the floor. Good. And then flex the feet, engage your legs, push through your quads, draw in your belly, pull your belly into your spine. You'll notice your hip flexors are now more toward the floor. Peel up your upper body and reach back with your arms. So working toward boat, but very modified. We're not touching our feet or our hands. You're welcome to if you'd like, but we're just reaching, keeping on the curve of the low back. And then release hands and feet and your face to one side. Relax your belly, shoulders. So bend your knees, flex your feet, bend your knees, flex your feet, take your feet in as far as they want to go. Pull in your belly. Chest or chin to the floor. Peel off your chest, chin, ribs one at a time and reach back. Even if you could touch your feet, you don't need to. Just keep reaching. And then slowly keep the legs engaged still as you lower ribs one at a time. Ribs, 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 chest or chin, shoulders, and then gaze to the other side as you relax your legs and your heels. This time, let your big toes touch and your heels rock out to either side. Soften your belly. Take this moment of Advasan, like Shavasana, but on your belly. Good, and then come back, forehead or chin to touch. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. And then you're going to press the floor away and you're going to come up, back into table for just a moment. Good. So I want us to talk about an inversion for a moment, because today we're going to do a very simple, easy inversion. You're welcome to go a little bit more challenging if you would like. So you're not inverting if you're on the first few days of your menstrual cycle, if you have glaucoma, any eye pressure issues, uncontrolled blood pressure, if you have a sinus infection, okay? So anything that makes you think, I probably shouldn't invert, then don't invert. All right, so you're welcome to take mountain pose, which is often called downward facing dog. You're welcome to take that. But I'd like for you to try this, because with what we've been doing today, it's a real compliment. So I'm going to curl my tail toward the back of my head, and I'm going to reach myself forward and rest my forehead on the floor as my armpits stay lifted, but I'm down on my knees. And I know this is often called puppy pose from the downward dog. So you're welcome to take puppy pose. You're welcome to go on up into mountain pose. You're also welcome, if you're not inverting, just walk your heels back all the way. Walk your hips back to your hips. Grab a block, put it underneath your forehead, and just take a resting child's pose, which is not an inversion. My throat and my root of my body are even, so I'm not inverting. So either one or three, whichever you'd like to take. Take another minute and a half if you can, just relaxing into your body, relaxing the whole body in mountain, in puppy, or in child's pose. Check in that your ribs are compact in part of your body and they're not rib dipping. And then slowly and gently make your way out of the pose, come back into table. Just take your time coming back into table. And then you can cross your legs and come back into a comfortable seat and extend the legs out into Dandasana, up into staff pose, where we started at the very beginning, and just noticing how your legs feel. Today's class focused a lot on our legs, on the rotation, on the adductors and abductors. And then just externally rotate both legs just from your seated pose. Just see where they go. Just let your legs go out, knees and second toes follow one another. And then bring them back in. Heels are apart, big toe knuckles are touching. Good. And then let's bend our knees a little bit, keep the heels firmly in the floor, and then reach back as if you're gonna let yourself lower from a rope. Your heels can come up and then down. So find Shavasana and letting it be beyond your mat if it's warm enough where you are, that you can actually just melt like a starfish beyond the mat. Letting your ribs relax, your pelvic basket relax, the heels and calves and the backs of the thighs melting into the floor. The backs of the hands, the forearms, elbows, and backs of the arms melting into the floor. the whole of your trunk, from low in the body to the shoulders, melting into the floor. And your head heavy, ever so heavy, just melting into the floor. Breath is soft and shallow and just enough to sustain you. All 5 elements inside and out. Slowly and gently, bringing your awareness into the body, fully into the body, your expression of the 5 elements. Begin to wiggle the fingers and twinkle the toes. Move from the extremities into the center of the body. Wiggle your face, your nose, your ears, your mouth. And then feel the movement come up the extremities, down through the head, and into the very center core of your body, right between your belly button, around your belly button, between the bottom of the ribs and the bottom of the pelvic basket. Just pull your hands into that area. Breathe. Let's bend the knees. Keep pressing the hands into the belly. Bend the knees, lift your hips off a tiny bit, shake them out. And then shift the hips over, away from the screen, just away. And then curl over toward the screen. Just curl up, all safe and secure. Right here in embryo, bring in what you needed today for transformation. And then gently keeping your chin tucked into the chest, begin to press the floor away, spiral yourself up, coming gently into a comfortable seat. The head balanced on top of the spine. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Any merit we may have earned this morning in our practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. Remembering your intention, what do you need for self-transformation? Think of any offerings you might like to give this morning, anyone who needs a little extra energy, even yourself. And then let those thoughts slip from our minds down into our hearts, from our hearts symbolically out into the palms of our hands, and then lift them up and let them go. bringing the hands ever so gently back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Okay, I'm coming to you. Let me fix it where you can speak. Thanks, Brenda. Let me get rid of the spotlight. Let me go to gallery. Great. Okay. Good morning. So nice to see you. Hey, Joanne. Nice to see you. Hi, Sky. Welcome to class. Chitra, Surya Prakash. Great to have you back. Manipa, always beautiful. Hi, Mary. Good morning. Alfredo, Sandra, Jolanta, Michelle, Wendy, Amy, Amber, Arjun, you. Nice to have you. And whoever else is there with the serial number. It's really nice to have you. So any questions about class? Any questions about the 5-element meditation? Any questions about the pause in the breath that we did as we took our full yogic breath and paused, inhaling and exhaling, not a very long pause, but that pause, as it gets a little lengthened, it quietens the mind, supposedly. You could tell me your experience. And then the asana. So any questions or comments or any thoughts about what we practiced today? Come on, you're always good for a question.
I just want to make sure others have opportunities to ask questions. So, yeah, I actually have 2 questions, but I'll ask first one and then wait for others to ask. So the boat pose, I notice it's using my upper body and also a lot of my leg strength and also the core strength, and also reflect back on all the warm up you did. It seems like this 3 core areas of exercise. And I just want to make sure whether this is, I understand correctly about how you design from a YTT perspective.
Yes, from your teaching perspective, absolutely. I tried to warm that up, and then I tried not for us to go all the way into a full boat, because we still only have 40 minutes or so for asana. So it's not really enough time to warm up. And I think it's not enough time for many of us to warm up and be super flexible and do a full-on boat pose, holding our legs and everything, right? We would have needed to have done another 10 minutes of 10 minutes of warming up the back, right? To really be able to do it. But I think that what we did in reaching back, I was looking at some people, and some people had their legs, right? So I think whatever you were motivated to do is great. But yes, from a teaching perspective, I was trying to really keep with the core, because that's what stabilizes the low back. And also the movement with the knees. Like, I love that little pose Babaji has of just standing on your knees in a Tadasana, but you've got your feet, right? And balance wise, it's easy pose, right? It's kind of easy pose, but it's not at all, because being out in the middle of the floor is like, what? I'm going to hold both legs? I don't think so. But when you've got a wall there against your chest, and you start to feel it, right? And then you can lift your pelvic floor and really engage. And then you can push your chest off the wall and be there for a little bit. But it's kind of like, I probably should have never done it against a wall, because now I have that dependency. I need that wall. It's like people, I never teach headstand against a wall, because then people will always need that wall. It's better just do it in the middle of the floor. If you fall over, you fall over. So I have that wall dependency for that. But I love that pose, and I hadn't done it for quite a while, and it came to me this morning. Yeah. as a good way to kind of open up knees and legs. Yes, Mary.
Yes. Well, I had such a marvelous experience at a very subtle level of my whole body being activated and integrated in a very profound way. So I needed that, and I want to thank you. And I especially enjoyed the attention to the toes. And I also really enjoyed puppy pose, which I don't recall ever doing with such intention.
Good.
So, Kamalesh.
Good. You're so welcome. I love puppy pose like that. I think that like with the lift in the arms and the whole lift, I think it's really a beautiful inversion, and it doesn't require all of the strength that some of them require, you know. But yeah, I love it too. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it also agreed with you. I think I saw Amy wrote something. I don't know what else you want to know, Amy. You're going to have to tell me, because that's just what they are. That's just the mudra for each element. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, that's the mudra element. So I can speak to it, but I don't know what I would say. Yes, Guy.
Oh, I was just going to add on to what Mary was sharing, that the puppy pose really seemed to integrate everything else that we did up to that point.
Good.
It just felt really good. It just kind of felt balancing, and I hadn't done that an inversion like that either, and it was really good.
I thought it would also speak to what we were doing when we were down in Sphinx pose, you know, with that curve there. That puppy pose would help address that and pull that and let that whole space be broad and long. Yeah, good. So
Hi, Kamalesh, this is Chitra. I just wanted to say I really loved your guided meditation with the bija mantras and the mudras. It was so beautiful.
I'm
I was
so
trying
glad.
to, I was like, oh my God, I need to do this like it, you know, every day. I was trying to remember all of them so that I can actually practice that every day.
Good, good. And I can go through them again with you right now, but also just know this goes onto YouTube. This goes there and you can watch. And I wanted to ask you all, you know, the video guy who's my wonderful guy who actually uploads this for me. He said, have you ever told a class that if they could go there and subscribe to your channel and like it and share it? And I said, no. And he said, could you do that, please? So I am doing that. It's just once you're on YouTube, you just look up Ginger Hooven, and there it is. And you can subscribe to the channel, whether you ever pull it out and watch it, it doesn't matter. And then you can share it with, you know, with some friends and let them know that they can take some classes, you know. So
I will do that. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And you'll find in some of the YouTube videos that are there, I mentioned 5-element meditations, and sometimes I do it a little longer. It's never any different really, except maybe I call in more of the elements or something. But like today, I just had us really focus on the mantra, and sometimes I'll have us focus on the qualities of the element in the body, like focus on, you know, something airy and light and the qualities, you know, so it just depends. So Amy, you were asking about the fingers relating to the 5 elements, and I know that's true, and I know it's different for different systems, and I don't remember them. I used to know them a long time ago, but I don't. So I don't know if, I don't think they correspond, but I honestly don't know. Great, Amy's going to research it. Yeah. I have it in a book over here somewhere, but I also have more than one. You know, like I have more than one interpretation. So I think it's like the colors of the chakras. There may be more than one school of thought, and they're all good. They're all good. So like Babaji would say, it's all good. It's all good. You know, don't worry about it. It's all revealed wisdom, and it's good. Or if it's not, you know, like if it's not revealed, if somebody just kind of made it up and threw it out there, that's okay too. That's where they are. That's great. It's where we all are in life right now. Speaking of where we are in life, it's my oldest son's birthday today. Yay. And as soon as we get through, I'm and play a video of the fireworks exploding. Because, you know, that's what we do here. We have the fireworks and we sing the birthday song. There's a birthday song. It's not happy birthday. It's a birthday song. Las Mañanitas, it's called. That the King David wakes up every morning and sings this song on your birthday, right? He wakes up in the morning and sings this song for your birthday. It's a beautiful song. Yeah, Amy, let's just text. Thank you. Thanks for birthday to him. That's great. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, everyone. It was wonderful hanging out with you, and hopefully you'll have a wonderful day. And don't forget, tomorrow there is a class with Jen, same time, and it's on the Mount Madonna site to get to her link. And on Thursday, I hope to see you back with me. Okay, and go to the YouTube site. I'll tell Enio that I did tell you, and that hopefully you're all going to like it and share it and whatever. Okay, thanks everybody. Much love. Take care. Ciao. Thank you. Yeah, happy birthday to both of us. Thanks.